Ah, that's good. You know, today I had a cup of tea with almond milk in it because at work they ran out of milk and the only thing that was left in the fridge was almond milk. Has anybody ever had a cup of tea with a fucking almond milk? It was one of the worst things I've ever had the misfortune to put in my mouth, and I've had some weird shit in my mouth. Join and run. Forfeits. It was horrible. This is like a breath of fresh air to a drowning man. It was like, it was weirdly cloudy and had little bits floating in it. I nearly took a photo and uploaded it, but I don't want to turn into those boring bastards who, takes photographs of the things he eats and drinks. Honestly, it was like a giant squirrel rimmed my mug. That's the only analogy I can think of. They have a very nutty diet, don't they? If a giant squirrel put his entire ball sack into my mug, spun it round a few times, and then handed me it, and I dusted the ginger pubes off the top and had a drink. That's how it tasted. Anyway, now I've had a good mouthful and rid myself of the aftertaste. How's everyone doing? All the locals are in, as usual. Kate, Charles, Mike, Winston, Tracy, Red E. He's new. Al, Zardos, Joshua, Debs, Alan, the Sash, Skin Tone, Kate. I suppose you get mentioned twice because you're always here. Bailey, Carl, Mike, Terry, Wuckfit, always a pleasure. Ragnar, it's me. Chris, Jeff, anybody I've missed. Shams, hello, how are you? Finola, Bailey, Winston, Daz, welcome. Welcome. I was going to have a night off tonight after I made that one about Vice. But I had 20 minutes and then I thought, bugger it. The public have spoken. Yeah, I'm a Democrat. Here I am. First things first though, there's a little tweet for you. How nice is that picture? Isn't that a good photo? I think so. Isn't that nice? That is just picture perfect, I think. And now that blonde people are dying out, I have a soft spot for them. I think it's nice to see a load of blonde kids in a picture. They'll be as rare as rocking horse shit in a few years, won't they? So that's a great photo, isn't it? And obviously my tweet, what a lovely photo. And best of all, that gopping, manipulative spunk Bowser and her ginger fox piss offspring isn't in it either. Yes, we can all get behind that sentiment. Plague Marine can't stay long, well bugger off then. Who needs you? Rab, not a royalist. Well, surely with a name like Rab, you're a Scotsman. You don't have to be a royalist, do you? You just have to be ambivalent even. Most people are ambivalent, that's fine. There is some privilege there, but like I said, if most rich people can treat me with a fucking modicum of respect, I think we should do the same for rich people. Like I said, I don't like the communist ideologues who seem to want to just judge everybody without knowing anything about them. I feel as if we can expect most rich people, and most rich people are pretty sound, to treat us with respect when we are poor working class gutter snipes from up north, the least you can do is give them the same back, right? I don't judge rich people. I don't judge poor people. Take everybody as they come. That old-fashioned liberalism that fucking vanished in the 90s, the noughties, because we've been going backwards for the last 15 years. Now we just fucking judge people all the time about what they look like or what they put the cock in. I mean, it's even stupider than that, isn't it? Now we don't do just what colour you are. We do what you like to put your cock in or rub your minge up against, how tall you are, how short you are, how fucking old you are. Now it's like everything. Everything's on the victim pyramid. Racist, ageist, fattest, heightist, sizist, sexist, fucking... you can put ist behind almost any word you can come up with that would describe someone, and there's a fucking term for it, embraced by ridiculous shit for brains communists like Dawn Butler. Oh shit! Does anybody know what was the comment made either yesterday or today by that Labour twat woman who said something like, "We have to abolish the rich"? I was like, so they're not even trying anymore, are they? They're not even attempting to be moderate, middle of the road people. They're just fucking lunatics. Absolute lunatics. Abolish the rich. Yeah, but guess who pays most of the income tax? The rich. It might be this fucking myth that they don't pay any taxes at all, but if you look at the numbers, the rich, usually the middle class, but people who fucking earn a lot, like, you know, my brother earns a good wage, pays about 50% taxes, pays like 40% of his 40% of his income tax, plus like 12.5% national insurance. They're the people who pay all the fucking taxes. It's not street sweepers and bin men, because, you know, if you're earning 18 grand a year, you probably only pay about fucking 20 quid a month tax. It's not rocket science. If you abolish the rich, we all starve to death. It's the only thing that drives people to chase the promotion, isn't it? Like I keep saying, cleverer people than us come up with the fucking income tax brackets, don't they? Cleverer people than us, really smart, intellectual, economists, experts in their fields, set the tax bracket just at the right level. They know just how to take the piss out of you. Just right exactly how far to push it, where you still chase the promotion, you still want to make a lot of money, but you're not going to go, fuck this, and either do what I'm very close to doing, quitting working out of hatred, just say, you know what, I'd rather be poor. I'd rather be poor. I seen a house today in Middlesbrough, as I was thinking of going back up north. I seen a house today in Middlesbrough for 5 grand. 5 grand. Seriously, if I bought the house, I could retire now. I could live off fucking hell with no mortgage. And I'm assuming your council tax is low and you're living in a hovel. I could live off a few grand a year. I swear down. I'm that close to just going, you know what, fuck it. Because unlike Jesus and lots of those well-to-do rich people like Mog, I'm not the type who's strong enough to turn the other cheek. I'm the type that gets pissed off. And I think I'm a few years off if they keep taking the piss out of me, making me labour, and then taking all my money off me to give to fucking scroats who have absolutely no interest in working, who do less movement in a year than a house brick. I'm that close to just going, fuck it. Fuck it. I'll live in squalor just out of resentment and spite because I'm sick of paying for Diane Abbott's fucking Mars bars. Like I said, the MPs, every single thing they eat and drink goes on their expenses. Like their salary's not for feeding themselves. What do you think I do? Fucking feed myself. That's what you go to work for. To feed yourself. These arseholes. Is it in TS1? Someone who knows the borough. It's not in TS1. It is right round the corner from where my nanny used to live in Doggy. But it winds me up. And like I said, clever people have to figure these things out because they know a lot of working class men are going to go, you know what, fuck it. You're taking the piss out of me. You're taking the piss out of me and I'm not having it anymore. You're taking the piss out of me. You squander my money on shit, throw it at lazy people, give it to Somalians and put them up in 5-star hotels and buy them phones. I'm not doing it anymore. I will cut my nose off to spite my face. This is why socialism doesn't work. This is what I keep telling you guys. And I'm not the most bitter and resentful chap. I'm quite a happy-go-lucky fucking fella most of the time. You've got to push me far to make me bitter and resentful and twisted. But if they keep pushing, that's what I'm going to do. I swear down. If the next 4 or 5 years don't improve, I'm fucking going to cash out everything I have. I've got a 401k in the States. I mean, it hasn't got a load in it. But it's this weird saving thing that the Americans do where your employee puts a bit in and you put a bit in. And it's index linked to the markets. And when you cash it out when you're like 65 or something, you don't pay any income tax on it. And again, I'm not rich. You guys know I've always just done a working class job. But I think after paying into it for like 8 years, there's about 30 grand in it, I think. And obviously you can't get it now. Because if you get it now, you pay like 25% income tax. But seriously, if that's up to like 40 or something in a few years' time, and I've got my savings in England as well and whatever, and I've got a military pension that I'm entitled to when I'm 55, I think, I'm very tempted to just go, you know what, I don't need a flash car, I don't need a big house, I don't need to eat out in restaurants. I will just become a fucking hermit. All I'll do is get a punch bag in the local woods like Rocky, spend all day going to the gym training and just eating like a fucking monk and going on the internet and reading the news, and I'll probably have outgoings of about 300 quid a month, and I would live like a fucking pauper just to prove what they've done, where they disincentivise working class people from trying. Fuck them. It's good for them that most people are ambitious, because I'm not ambitious. I never have been. Again, I put this down to the fact I was fortunate enough to come from a chippy northern family that was never totally skint. My dad was a welder, he worked offshore a lot. He always made plenty of money. So, yeah, we weren't fucking rich. We lived in Borough, for fuck's sake. But I never went hungry. I can hand on heart say I never once missed a meal. And because I've never been hungry, I'm not ambitious. I think the thing that drives people who desperately want to be rich is having one of those upbringings. You know, a lot of the footballers and that were just hyper laser focused, these boxers who just go for it. I think it's the desire to never be poor and hungry again. And I don't have that. I've always been fed. So I'm not ambitious. I'm not bothered about being rich. If I can make sure I've got a full belly every month, I'm very, very close to just wrapping my tits in. If it's still like this in a few years, that's what I'm going to do. I refuse to have the piss took out of me anymore. Piss took out of me. David Lammy's salary is massive, and he's doing 180 grand in expenses every single year. So fuck them. Fuck them. I'm that close, ladies and gents, I swear down. If that happens, I will change the channel to name to The Angry Jippo, because I'm not a monetized channel, as you all know. The Angry Hobo. But I will live like an absolute pauper out of resentment and spite. I don't need the Angry Bootneck, like I told you, that I picked the name because I am angry when I'm in my tirades. It's true. I can become fully erect whilst in the throes of a rage rant, so I don't need anything other than water, which is basically free. Water, a small amount of food, and a hovel. And I'm good. I'm good. I can crack on and do that. So lads, sort your life out. Boris, Pretty, Rishi, you people who call yourselves conservative, get to fucking conserving. Drop taxes, drop spending, free up, unleash the forces of capitalism. Take the chains off. Do it. Do it. Because you're that close, folks. I've worked all my life, never had a penny in dole, ever, since I was fucking 16. Well, no, because you're probably not entitled when you're 16. I've never done it. I don't even know how you get dole. I've never had anything. I've never had working tax credits. I hear this shit on the news, but I've never had any of it. Council tax benefit. I don't know what any of that stuff is. I've worked my fucking arse off since I was a teenager. And I'm that close, at the ripe old age of 41, to changing my channel name to the gut-wrenched Jippo, living in a hollowed out tree, and sustaining myself with hate for you useless bourgeois arseholes that run the show. It's no wonder people don't want to work. Rotten Politics is in. Hello, mate. Nice to see you again. I assume you're back on YouTube. Back with the land of the living. My cough still hasn't gone, I told you. Weird, right? It must be that long COVID. Weird how it hasn't caused me to miss a day's work, though. Weird. Don't you need 6 months off? Brain fog? Fucking brain fog. Get used to it. That's called being a thick twat. 80% of the country has a permanent, year-round, 24/7 brain fog, and everyone in Parliament and the House of Lords. It's called being a fucking idiot. Welcome to the club, brain fog. Now get to work, you lazy twat. Fucking brain fog. Do me a favour. Yes, the very angry leprechaun. But instead of a pot of gold, I'll have a pot to piss in. That'll be the sum total of my wealth. And as you're aware, I haven't got a monetised channel either, so I've never had a penny off YouTube. I've never had a penny in dole. I've never had a penny in council tax benefit. And I've never even had a penny out of YouTube. The only pennies I've got is you generous bastards who buy me a pint occasionally. Thank you very much for that, by the way. It tastes better when somebody else buys it for you. That's true. It's like when you steal milk off someone's doorstep when you're a teenager. Tastes better, doesn't it? Really weird, like it's been poured over Frosties or something. Oh, there's a good story I can tell you, just rambling like I do. I do remember when I was walking to school when I was about 14 and my mate Woodsy, he ran round the corner and seen a bottle of Silver Top on someone's doorstep, picked it up, came round the corner, started drinking it. And he had 2 inches, and then he went, who wants some? And one of the other lads, Trigger, he said, oh, I'll have some. And he passed the bottle of milk to him, and literally, the second he lifted it to his lips, the man whose house it was ran round the corner and went, you fucking bastard, and ran over and started punching fuck out of him, right? We were all fucking howling, laughing. And the best bit about it was, as he was swinging him round, he was like swinging him round with one hand and punching him in the face with the other one. As he was swinging him round, Trigger was like holding the milk bottle out, going, like getting lamped, desperately trying not to drop the milk bottle. So the bloke knocked the shite out of him, left him in tears on the floor and fucking stomped off in a huff. And we were just laughing at him, fucked up on the floor with a perfectly preserved bottle of milk in his hand. Like, I was like, what did you think he was going to do? Fucking take it back in and put it on the kid's cornflakes? Like he's just going to pluck it from the hands of the spotty, greasy little teenager and just, cheers lads. I know it's pre-COVID, but fucking hell. You don't want to swap spittle with some little scruffy twat who's just been robbing you, do you? Might have been a smackhead, it's Borough. His veins might have been alive. His veins are singing on the way to school, because that's when you shoot up. It's the perfect time to get it into you first thing in the morning. Anyway. Yeah, so there's my random dit of the day. They just come to me on a whim. Right, let's do some news, shall we? I always have to do some. Can't just talk total nonsense and spin dits about being savagely assaulted as a teenager. That's not going to get me anywhere. Right then. I swear I can see Abby running naked out of his stump with a plucked chicken. Yep, I'd do that. Happy days. Oh yeah, thumbs up. Everyone keeps telling me to do that. Anyone want to like it, share it, do that. Or buy me a pint on coffee. Whatever you like, lads. Yeah, like it. Cheers. Thanks for reminding me, fellow bootcatteers. Right then. Just another example. I think I did this 2 days ago. Yeah, second strike RP, I know all about it. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. I've had one. So I'm basically on borrowed time. I think we all are, aren't we? Like I said, Silicon Valley, they're going to keep pushing until everyone just raps. And it's not going to happen soon because YouTube, Facebook, Twitter have such a colossal market share. They really have stitched the market up, haven't they? But eventually, enough people are going to be driven off. They're just going to go, I've had enough. You're taking the piss. Again, it's like I've been saying about going to work, right? Bootettes, that's a good one. There's another 6,000 bootnecks though, so it makes you sound like a bit of a slag if you're a bootette. It makes you sound like one of those girls who, goes drinking in Exeter and literally gets 2 cocks a week every week for about a 35-year period. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about there with RP getting banned again. It's like what I was saying about going to work and getting annoyed with it. Eventually they will push far enough and everyone's just going to go, fuck this, I've had enough. It's not going to happen soon, probably again with the working thing, but it will happen eventually. Because it's not fair, it's not right. What YouTube do is immoral. They shouldn't make normal people like me and RP and Paz and anybody else, working class lads as well. And if you look at the metrics, the most underserved community is white working class, right? less chance of going to college, less chance of getting good GCSE results, more chance of going to prison, more chance of dying in custody. It's white working class men from council estates. And to top it all off, YouTube, Twitter and Facebook hate us. Like in a pandemic, when you need company, when you need friendship, when you need an outlet for your social, outlet that's gone because you can't go to the pub anymore. They're even taking that off us. So we're on the bottom rung for everything, us straight white northern working class arseholes. It's bottom rung for everything. Less likely to go to university, less likely to get a grant, less likely to get good GCSE results, less likely to get a council house, less likely to get assistance in any way, and best of all, Silicon Valley lay the fucking boot in. You know what I mean? Because if I look like fucking, what's his name? What's that bloke called who's always been controversial and no one ever gives fucking shit to him? The rapper. The good rapper that everybody likes. The fella that did the female powerlifting. Zuby, that's it. Zuby doesn't get fucking banned, does he? Weird that. I'm pretty sure he's said more controversial things than me. I didn't set the female powerlifter's fucking record. I just said I don't think it's very sensible to allow very, very tall, muscular women to compete in football, and I got banned for a week. So it's not fair. Everyone's laying the boot in. The government's laying the boot in, the teachers are laying the boot in, the civil service is laying the boot in, and to top it all off, fucking Silicon Valley's having a pop. It's like, fucking hell, it's like fighting a gang, isn't it? Everyone's giving me shit. Working class bloke who's never not worked a day in his fucking life. Everyone wants a piece of my fucking pie, the bastards. It's proper bad. Dorsey, Oprah Winfrey and Meghan Markle are laying the boot in on me. Privileged bastard. Privileged arsehole. What? Oprah Winfrey could buy and sell me 50 times over. She's got so much money. For 1% of her wealth, I would do anything. Anything. If Oprah Winfrey said, Matt, I'll give you 1% of my wealth if you suck spunk out of Elton John's arsehole, I would fucking get to it. That's how rich Oprah Winfrey is. And apparently I'm the privileged one. Why? You grew up in Middlesbrough, you lucky bastard. Are you having a laugh? When the Somalians turn up in Middlesbrough and see the clip of it, they say, fuck this, put me on the bus, send me back to Somalia. This is why they stopped sending the Iraqis to Middlesbrough, because they were hitchhiking back down the A19 and over to fucking Baghdad again. Don't tell me I'm privileged. Shit. Nobody. I can't think of any aspect of my life that I'm privileged in. Borough. Is there a shitter town than Borough? If Snoop Doggy Dogg went for a walk around Middlesbrough, he would shit himself. Snoop would go, fuck that. He thinks he's a tough guy because he's from Long Beach. I used to go jogging around Long Beach. It was fucking well nice. Long Beach, picturesque. Snoop would absolutely shit himself. If all them boys from South Central rocked up in the borough, they would go, are you having a fucking laugh? People can't live here. But I'm the privileged one. Meghan, me again, Oprah, fucking Zucker twat, doorstop. They all want to lay the boot in on me. The AB deserves it. Working class scum, you lucky, lucky bastard. Anyway, fuck this. Let's do some news before I get raged again. Before I disappear down yet another rabbit hole. Greenshill row, civil servants ordered to declare second jobs. Again, I talked about this 2 days ago. Why the fuck does things that ought to have been happening anyway, and anyone who doesn't have a head full of horse shit can see 50 miles away, why does it have to go on and on and on and on before it gets banned? Why? I want to know, when did we ban, I don't know, paedophilia? When did we do that? When did we go, you know what, shagging kids isn't a good idea? Did that just go on for like 2,000 years and then in 1999 someone went, all right, we'll ban it? It seems like the most obvious shit to every working class man, woman and child over the age of about 8. The most obvious shit ever. Just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. They don't do anything about it. Like, you have to fight tooth and nail to get the bleeding obvious applied, don't you? Why was this a thing? Why has this been a thing from, I don't know, who was our first modern Prime Minister? Disraeli or something? Why has this been going on for the last 150 fucking years? Why are civil servants allowed to have 2 jobs when they have blatant conflict of interest? Why? It makes me think. I've slagged off the civil service so much it almost gets boring. Civil servant let Salman Abedi in. Civil servant let Salman Abedi's jihadi parents in, even though they knew, MI6, MI5 knew, they were full-blown indoctrinated killers. Give them a council house in Manchester, next to the fucking Manchester Evening News Arena. Probably gave them a few fucking sacks full of ball bearings and rat poison so they can help make the IED. Why would they do that? Maybe some of those civil servants have second jobs working for, I don't know, immigration companies or something. Maybe they have stocks and shares in the hotel companies, and the hotel companies are the ones where they house all of the migrants. Maybe one of them's got a second job with O2 and he squares it away so they'll get all of the free phones and they're all on the O2 network. Maybe. It sounds outlandish. I'm being purposely outlandish, but the point is, of course there's a conflict of interest when you're a civil servant. It could be anything. It could be you're awarding a contract for a catering company and you fucking have a second job on the side working for them. If you have a side gig working for Greggs and then you say, right, from now on the Royal Marines are eating nothing but fucking steak bakes until they are sweating beef juice, maybe there's a conflict of interest there. It's painfully fucking obvious that this shit can happen, and it doesn't get squared away until we whinge and whinge and whinge and whinge. Absolutely baffling. Is it not? Is it not? I'll read some comments. Stocks and shares in body bag companies. There you go. Fucking nice one. Stocks and shares in, a side job working for Dulux. And you know for a fact that Salman's going to scatter a few kids up the side of the fucking arena. Oh, we'll need a few coats of Dulux gloss up for that next week. Let them all in. Let them all in. Fuck me. Hartlepool. Hartlepool's posh. Those you lucky bastards. I am kidding. I think that's one of the one places where my dad was always like, just be thankful you're not a Hartlepool. Be thankful you're not a monk. I'm worried of even saying that because I'm worried that the YouTube chat will pick it up as some sort of, again, because they're mega racist and they're obsessed with any use of biological natural terms that could possibly be construed in a certain way. I'm even worried about using Hartlepool's famous nomenclature for the local denizens. Let's just say the people that do the thing to the ape with the rope. Right? Maybe that'll be all right. Oh yeah, Saltburn is posh. Saltburn's nice. My mate Muzzy lives in Saltburn. Nice house on the cliff. Spot on. So yeah, this shit should have been happening from the very beginning, right? Government departments have been ordered to find out by the end of the week whether senior officials have rule-breaking second jobs. Of course they fucking do. Of course they do. If you don't think they do, you're an idiot. Extraordinary and shocking. They all do it. So don't make this into a partisan football, Labour. Don't do that. Don't do that after you whinge about some Tory sex scandal and then Lord Sewell, the Northern Labour politician, gets caught diddling teenage prostitutes while sniffing coke through £20 notes. And he even was whinging about the fact that his expenses got audited while he was snorting coke through £20 notes. Do you remember that guy? Lord Sewell? Labour twat. So don't make out like this is some sort of partisan fucking thing. It's not. It's every single shitbag that works in the Houses of Parliament and for Whitehall, and basically the wider civil service as a whole. It's a joke. So yeah, bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. Should have been squared away years ago, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 fucking years ago. Of course it should have been, but it doesn't, because they're arseholes, because we are sorely led. No wonder people are disillusioned with politics. Fuck my luck. Anyway, let's do another one. Right. When did we turn into America? When did we turn into America? I'm sick and tired of reading racial profiling. That's not an English term. The Americans invented that. Always the same. Jailed for breaking the leg of a father in front of his teenage sons. Clear case. Why are we pretending we're Yanks? If you want to be a copper in England now and you're a white guy, I think you're a psycho. I think you've got something wrong with you. I mean, we all need a job, but do something else. Work in Greggs. Go work in a bank. Drive a truck for Tesco. Anything. You couldn't pay me enough to be a copper now. You can't do your job. They have hamstrung the police. Why was he profiling him? Although I did perform a leg sweep, which sounds a bit Jackie Chan. Performed a leg sweep to knock him to the ground. Yeah, okay, bit harsh. But again, I don't think there's any evidence that it's racial profiling. He obviously was looking for a suspect. Like I keep saying, right, let me just put it this way. If a bank was robbed in Nottingham and they said the suspect is 5'9", blue eyes, brown hair, speaks with a northern accent, then the coppers are probably going to grab me. Won't have been me. They might also say, terribly handsome. They're obviously going to nick me, aren't they? And I'm going to go, well, at least they'll come up to me and say, what you doing? And I'll go, what you're on about? And then they'll say, you match the description of an arsehole that's just robbed a bank. And then I'll say, okay then, and I'll totally cooperate with them. And 5 minutes later, I'll be off. Like, don't tell me, I know this sounds un-PC in the times we're living in, but don't tell me that doing exactly what you're told all the time when a copper pulls you over in this day and age is going to lead you to misery if you happen to not be a white guy. Just do as you're told. Every single video I've ever watched, Sandra Bland is a good example, they don't do as they're told. Like, my mum and my dad taught me as a kid, even if you've been stitched up by the pawpaw, do as you're told. If you just do as you're told, even if you're pissed off, you will live through it. I firmly believe that. I know there's a lot of bad coppers, but if you do exactly as you're told, you will live through it. They have body cameras everywhere. Everybody's got a mobile phone. The cameras are out. We're living in the most surveillance-heavy time ever. The police are nervous. If you just do exactly what they tell you all the time, you will live through it. And if you happen to be black or Muslim or Jewish or gay or whatever, I mean, they'll probably say the police hate everyone who's not a straight white man now, don't they? If you're tall, if you're fat, if you're thin, if you're bald, they hate you. They want to kill you. All right. But do as you're told. Have confidence in the fact every bastard's got a smartphone and there's CCTV everywhere and even the coppers wear body cameras. And do as you're told and you live through it. I guarantee you. Seriously. If you happen to be from a targeted group, just do as you're told and you will not get shot. I guarantee it. Because they never do. They never do. Sandra Bland was proper kicking off on the video. Remember Sandra Bland? She was going apeshit. Like, just do as you're told. I don't believe this stuff is accurate. And I don't think it's fair to just instantly go to, you do it because you're a hateful racist. It's 2021. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. Well, Charles, nobody cares because you aren't from something off the intersectionality umbrella. So no one cares about you, Chuck. Get used to it. Get used to it, old boy. And there's another one. Let's do another one because this is linked. Shocking as well. Duante Wright shooting. Officer Kim Potter to be charged over a killing. Seriously, if you didn't hear about this one, this is fuckwittery of the highest order. Kim Potter, partially sighted, shit for brains. I don't know what happened. Maybe not trained properly and terrified. Who knows? But basically, pulled the bloke over, thought she'd pulled a taser, had actually pulled the gun, killed him. Said it was by accident. Now, obviously, she's got the IQ of a pull-along duck. Not disputing that. Obviously, she should be charged because you have to set an example. But what I'm saying to you is, again, always going down the instant negative as you can possibly be. Do you believe... I'll read the story quick anyway because some people in England might not have heard about it. So Kim Potter was arrested and is held in custody. She shot Duante Wright accidentally, having mistakenly drawn a gun instead of a taser. Responding to the charges, Wright family's lawyer Brent Crump said the killing was an intentional, deliberate and unlawful use of force. So this is my argument. She was in the force for nearly 2 decades. She's an ageing woman. She's never been done for anything like this before. Why, a saying I've said many times, you should never ascribe something to malice which could easily be explained by incompetence. Why would that middle-aged veteran callously, cold-bloodedly murder a man for no reason other than a routine traffic stop? She's obviously pulled over thousands and thousands of people who happen to not be white during her career. If you think she intentionally and deliberately murdered the man, you're a lunatic. You're a lunatic. Why would you? Motive? Motive. Doesn't anybody read detective novels? 99% of cases, obviously these psychopaths, Jeffrey Dahmers, etc. 99% of cases have a motive. Love or money is the main two. What motive does she have to kill that guy? The only possible way you could believe it is if she was a full-blown, virulent, full-blown racist killer like Dylan Roof. And she isn't. She's a serving copper who's been on the job 20 years. She's not a murderer. She accidentally killed the bloke because she's fucking incompetent or scared or whatever it was. But again, I don't like the way we're pathologizing people. We're making everybody hate. We're making everybody resentful, bitter, twisted, angry. Hate, 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 hate. She's a murderer. She killed the man on purpose. She shot him in the head for no other reason than that he happens to be black. She despises them that much with an irrational, inconceivable hatred that almost nobody has in this day and age because it's 2021 and we know better. She despises people just because of what they look like, to the point where she purposely and callously murders them for no reason. Do you believe that? Do you? Because I don't. We shouldn't be talking like this. This Al Sharpton sort of race baiting. She's a murderer, she's a killer, she's a psychopath, she's hateful. She didn't mean to kill him. She should be getting done for about 4 or 5 years for manslaughter, and that's the end of it. But they're turning this into, he was butchered like an animal on purpose because he happens to have a tan. That's it. And if you believe that about that woman, I'm sorry to say, you're a fucking maniac. She's an idiot. But she's not pure evil. And we should stop doing it. Not pure evil. Not pure evil. Just cops doing a difficult job. Incompetent, yeah. Slap the wrist, set an example, send them to jail for a bit. But stop making out as if they are severely mentally ill and hateful to the point where they make Adolf look like he was just having a bad day. They don't deserve it. Kim Potter, fucking idiot. But she's not a butcher. She's not a monster. Right? Of course she didn't, Mark. I haven't seen the video. I just... Fuck me, I can read. I can read. I didn't see the video. I don't need to. It's common sense, for Christ's sake. She's a family woman, been on the job for years. 26-year veteran of the force. There's no need for it. Knows the difference between a taser. Okay, yeah, 26-year veteran of the force, and suddenly, for no reason all today, she decided she wanted to callously execute a young lad. Just fuck it, just for a crack. It's not on. The next 5 or 10 years are going to be very dangerous indeed. Police are going to start quitting in droves. They are going to stop enforcing the law. And if you look a certain way, you're going to have the bit between the teeth and think you can get away with fucking murder. It's going to be rough. And to top it all off, if it keeps getting worse, I'm going to quit working and live in a tree. Fuck 'em. All right, I think I'll call it right there. Go back and watch my Vice video. If you haven't seen that, it dropped about an hour before I started talking. Like it, share it, give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you like. Buy me a pint or sign up on Subscribestar. And thanks, as always, for your continued support. I am definitely having a day off tomorrow. I need to rest my overused vocal cords. All right? I'm buggering off. Thanks very much, guys. It is always appreciated. I do enjoy doing this. I do enjoy the bants. And, yeah. All right? Reckless discharge indeed, Paul. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you very soon.